I was American born and I'll die in America.
Welcome to our group. Welcome to Defenders Defenders 7 has and this ought to show it right here.
Do you or someone you know suffer from depression? If so, please contact the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255.
Good evening, everybody. Sorry about the little glitch we just had. Was having a hard time signing in myself. I hope nobody else has that same problem. Anyhow, welcome to Monday night Defenders 7 broadcast with your host, our Colonel Kimberly Purvis. Now, for those of you new just tuning in, we have a website. If you type in all lowercase letters, www.defenders, Roman numeral V as in Victor, with 2 small i's.com. On there you will find we have a store and a donate button. Every purchase and all donations that we bring in go 100% back to our communities in a time of need or any shit hits the fan situation. So please, by all means, purchase something from the store or click that donate button. That's the only way that we're able to do what we do here at the Defenders 7. Now, we can be reached on MeWe by clicking on organizations, scrolling down to Defenders 7, Humanitarian American Patriot Group. Or on our national Facebook page by typing in the search box all capital letters Defenders 7. Now, before you click on that join button, just know that we expect all of our members and future members to participate throughout everything we do here in the Defenders 7. You find that it's not for you, you can always leave. No hard feelings. Tonight's show and all the shows that we do here on Blog Talk, we enjoy it when you call in and give us your thoughts, your opinions, or just to say hi. That number to call, area code 914-205-5773. Again, number to call, area code 914-205-5773. I'm going to turn the microphone over to your host, our Colonel, Kimberly Purvis. Good evening,
hello.
Kimberly.
Good evening.
Sorry about the glitch.
Oh, I figured it was because you couldn't get on.
Yeah, for some reason I kept calling and it kept on disconnecting.
Oh, I've had that before. But I'm going, okay. Do you know that we're supposed to have a show tonight? But I figured it had to be something. You know, they've got issues with Blog Talk.
I know, and trying to get a hold of somebody there is like trying to pull teeth.
Anybody else on with us, or is it just us for right now?
It's just you and I right now.
Yeah, okay. No problem. Excuse me. Yeah, I've been struggling with a migraine since early this afternoon. I'm like, oh my God. And I finally decided, okay, I'm going to go ahead and go. Yeah, I decided it wanted to go away, so that's good. So I know I was covering different natural disasters and things, but I found this on the top 10 of everything, and it's not just this covers pretty much everything there is, even pandemics, epidemics, heat waves. I mean, you name it, it covers it. So I'm like, why not? What the hell? And this is worldwide now, not just America. So let's start with hold on. Trying to find out what this. Okay, that's just that. Okay, so we'll start with the top earthquakes, and then we'll just go down that list. So apparently, they've got records dated back to the Ming Dynasty of their worst earthquake ever, and it was in 1556. The Shanxi earthquake, I guess it's a Shanxi. It killed over 830,000 people, and it's cool. This opens up into a whole new thing. So cool. So it happened January 23rd, 1556. More than 97 countries, counties, and the provinces, the Hunan province, Hubei, and a bunch of other ones that I'm not going to butcher their name and sound like an idiot. So, but I only know those two. Buildings were damaged slightly in the cities of Beijing, Shanghai, and Chengdu. Approximately, it was 520-mile area was destroyed. And in some countries, as much as 60% of the population was killed. Damn. So I take it that's pre-population boost, because now there's, what, 1 billion people there? 1 million? I mean, huh? Oh, it's like 1.2 billion people in China. So, and back then it killed about 60% of the population. So, wow. Most of the population in the area at the time lived in yadongs. There are artificial caves and by cliffs. And what happened was they all collapsed. And that's how it managed to kill so many people. So, yes, they call it the Great Earthquake. And it was about a 7.9 on the Richter scale.
Wow.
So it wasn't quite, I guess they redid it. This back then they said it was an 8, but they said it was more likely a 7.9. But woo, what's a tenth of a point you're going to do? You know? So the earthquake damaged many of the forests of stone steels, and so I gotta work through my dog's barking at me here. That's quite catastrophic. It's just about 60% of the population. I was looking to see if they had an approximate cost, but it doesn't have what that kind of cost would be compared to now. Okay. So the number 2 most deadliest earthquake that one killed between, I don't see the massive difference between 100,000 and 316,000 people. But this one was in 2010 in Haiti, and it, let's see, was about a 7.0. And if you guys know anything about Haiti, I don't know a whole lot about Haiti, but the epicenter was near the town of Léogâne, and that's approximately 16 miles west of Port-au-Prince. So, and they had 52 aftershocks. There was a 4.5. I mean, that's a straight up another earthquake, but I guess they considered them aftershocks, and they had 52 of them. And let's see. So there's a dispute about how many people approximately were killed from it, and about 250,000 residences and 30,000 commercial buildings had collapsed. Now, the size of Haiti, that's a lot if you think about it. 30,000 businesses and 250,000 houses were damaged. So a lot of countries sent humanitarian aid and funding and medical teams, engineers, and all kinds of support personnel to help out. So, and the United States raised $58 million the next day. That's how fast America helps out, you know. And it cost, the damage to Haiti was about $7.8 to $8.5 billion. And this is in 2010. That's quite catastrophic in itself, too. So, number 3, China loves having earthquakes, I guess. In 1976, the Tangshan earthquake in China was on July 28, 1976. And yet again, I guess there's a dispute on how many people died. It was between 242,000 and 655,000 people that died. Sorry. It's also known as a great earthquake, and it was a 7.6. And it was at 3:42 in the morning. So, in minutes, 85% of the buildings in Tangshan collapsed or were unusable afterwards. That's pretty devastating. And they didn't have a really good warning, what you call it, not a warning sign, I guess you could, warning system is what I should say. And so you know how for an earthquake hit, usually they have the tremors and things like that. Well, this was, back in 1976. So I guess the geological equipment has improved since then. So let's see. Oh, well, they don't have a what you call it? How much did it cost them? But yeah, some of the aftershocks was a 6.0 magnitude, and it's about 50 kilometers wide. And I don't know how do you change from kilometers to miles? Was it multiplied? We're the only country that does not use the metric system, right? And I'm like, right. I can't figure that shit out. I'm like retarded. It says it was, oh no, my bad. It was 140 kilometers long and about 50 kilometers wide. But that's pretty damn big because on the map, it goes from the coast all the way into Beijing. So that's quite a bit of a distance for to be able to feel an earthquake. So, but yeah. Apparently, as we go through this list, China's had quite a few, and now here we go again. This one was about 273,000 deaths, and this one was in 1920 in the Haiwan earthquake in China, and this was pretty much looks like it's like right in the middle of China, and it was December 16th, and I'm trying to find out. Yeah, I can't. I'm not going to butcher the Chinese names of their cities. Just know it was bad. We'll post the article. Well, it's not an article. I hate this. I hate to admit this, but I got this on Wikipedia. But I don't think there's much of a need to lie and change information. This was quite a big earthquake. This was a 7.8 magnitude, and it was also on the Haiwan fault line. So let's see. Wow. Okay. Now, I've never heard of this, and this is something we need to look into. Now, I thought aftershocks just lasted, hours, maybe a day or so. Apparently, this massive earthquake, the aftershocks lasted for 3 years. I mean, that's quite a long time to have aftershocks. But originally they said they thought it was an 8.5. But that's also a dispute between 7.8 and 8.5. And that's still pretty bad, actually. So there was more than 30,000 people were killed in Guiyang County. So quite the large area. Ground effects. So, wow, about 100. So, 230 kilometers is about 140 miles. So I take it it's 142. No, we can't even do by that. Damn it! I was going to divide it in half, but apparently that's not even half. So you could see the lakes and the fjords from western Norway. You could see it. They felt it that far away from China. So that's pretty impressive. You got to respect Mother Nature for what it can do, and not just earthquakes, floods, tsunamis, hurricanes, lightning. You shouldn't fear it, but respect what it can do. And I mean, like my son's dog, he will chase what he thinks he's chasing lightning, but he is absolutely petrified of high wind. He will stay in the bathtub when the wind blows really heavy. So it's kind of hard to explain to your animals, when they all freak out and stuff. But for people, we should understand that it's just part of Mother Nature. Just be prepared for whenever anything happens. And if you can know beforehand, I mean, earthquakes are kind of hard to prepare for, but storms, hurricanes, blizzards, and stuff like that, you really need to be prepared for it. So the Byzantine Empire, which is now Turkey, they had a massive earthquake May of 526. So I'm surprised they had records of this back then. And it killed about 250,000 people. And then after the earthquake, a fire apparently started from the earthquake. And then it destroyed most of the buildings left that were standing. So whatever buildings were left from the earthquake standing, the fire destroyed the rest of them. So, it pretty well destroyed everything. And it was between an 8 and a 9 on the Richter scale. Oh, excuse me. So the site of Antioch is close to a complex triple junction between the northern end of the Dead Sea Transform and the mainly transformed boundary between the African plate and the Arabian plate, and the southwestern end of the East Anatolian Fault. So I had no idea there were that many fault lines pretty well everywhere. Let's see. And they had 16 months of aftershocks. And let's see. Yeah, and they were quite big. I don't know why they call them aftershocks for that long, because some of those were 7s, 8s, and 9s. I mean, to me, that's just a whole, you know what I'm saying, a whole new earthquake. Let's see. So, yeah, the aftermath, they removed all of their, at their chapels and their, all their what you call it, the diadems and the symbols. They removed it all because they didn't want to lose any of it if the earthquake went that far down. So, but yeah, that was okay. Let's see, we're on number 6. Oh, we just did that one. Oh no! Wow. Well, no. Antioch had 2 of them, but this one was in December 13th. I don't know how they got the date. Honestly, 115. So yeah, apparently the Roman Empire likes to keep really immaculate records, and about 260,000 people were killed, and this was another one, about 7.5 to, well, these Roman numerals, what figure, the damn Romans? XI 11. I didn't think the Richter scale went up to an 11. I thought it only went to a 10.0. It was an extreme earthquake, apparently.
Oh, I thought it went to 2.
Huh?
I said that's what I thought it went to 2.
Yeah, it goes up to a 10.0, but apparently an 11 is extreme. So that must be, it was catastrophic. So on this one, the same exact spot that it had a couple hundred years later. But this says, wow. So during the last 2,000 years, that one particular area has been hit by massive, large earthquakes. So, yeah, that's odd how they can do that. I mean, know how far back. Oh, well, so Cassius Dio, in his Roman history, he was around, apparently, and that's how they were able to, and they kept all their history. But, yeah. Okay. Let's go to the next. So this one was in 1138, Aleppo, which is now Syria, and that killed about 230,000 people. Huh. That's not far from. That looks like the other map I just looked at. But anyway, this was in northern Syria, and that's where most of the casualties were at. And it was preceded. See, now this one, they had a smaller earthquake, and then they had the big one. So, let's see. Yeah, sure. So Aleppo is the northern part of the Dead Sea transform, a system of geologic faults, which is a plate boundary separated by the Arabian plate and the African plate. And it was the beginning of the first two intense sequences of earthquakes. So from October 1138 to June 1139, they had a lot more intense and later series of massive earthquakes. Let's see. Did I say how big it was? Because I don't. I don't know. It doesn't say how big it was.
Huh.
It just said it was a. Oh no, there it is. It's hiding a 7.1. So, and it. The citadel collapsed, and it killed 600 of the castle guards, and the governor and some of the servants fled to Mosul. So, yeah, quite a bit of the. I guess you would call it. What the hell's a citadel? I don't mean to sound stupid. What is a citadel?
Citadel, the only thing I know about Citadel is it's a military college.
I don't want to say a palace. You know what I'm saying? What is a citadel? We'll figure it out. We'll just see. Oh, it's a fortress. That's what it was. It was a fortress. A fortified center, and they call it. It means little city because of the defensive core. So Sparta had one, and a lot of other Greek cities and towns had them. So that's where a lot of the military was at. That's why a lot of them died. Okay, number 8. Oh yeah, this was. I believe this is what led to the Boxing Day tsunami, and this happened in 2004 in the Indian Ocean earthquake, and let's see, where's it at? It happened on the west coast of northern Sumatra, and the earthquake, damn, now this was large, a 9.1 to 9.3. And it went up to, yeah. And so this was caused by a rupture along the fault lines between the Burma plate and the Indian plate. And so then from the earthquake, they got a 100-foot tsunami once it hit inland. And then after the being created by this underwater seismic activity offshore, so communities along the surrounding coast of the Indian Ocean were severely affected, and it killed about 227,000 people in 14 countries. And that's one of the deadliest natural disasters in recorded history. So, yeah, and that's the one. They actually have a documentary on it on YouTube, and it talks about. They have some of the survivors of it on that did the documentary, and what they did for the cleanup, and what they've done for the people of Indonesia now. If they have more, they're prone to tsunamis anyway. And they have this big tower built for all their people to run up to the top if they ever have another massive tsunami again. But the United States raised over $14 billion for it to help with the cleanup and everything like that. And they were very well affected by it. Let me see what else. I'm just trying to see what else they've got on here. So the epicenter, it was about 100 miles off the western coast. So that's how far out the earthquake was, and it caused a tsunami that far. That's extreme. And you know, the later we get, I mean, like I've noticed last year and this year, that a lot of our natural disasters are getting a lot worse, more damage. The storms with tornadoes, hurricanes, floods and stuff. I've noticed that they're progressively getting worse. So, okay, they got, oh, no wonder. Okay, this makes it look like they have, so there's 3 different earthquakes with about 200,000 deaths. So in 1303, the Mongol Empire, which is now China, had an earthquake, about 7.6, you know. But unfortunately, it was catastrophic damage with that one too. So because of the time it happened, they don't know what really caused the earthquake. So they said it likely started from the Taegu fault line, and I really can't pronounce these words. I apologize, and I'm not going to butcher them. So they said it could have been as high as 8.0 on the Richter scale. And so the damage that was caused, every major temple and school building collapsed, and over half of the town's population perished. And every building in Ho County was destroyed, and nearly 100,000 houses collapsed, and over 200,000 people died from the collapsing buildings and over in those caves. That was from the other earthquake, the early one in China. So this particular area is prone to a lot of earthquakes. And they had landslides and, wow. So landslides, soil subsidence, and liquefaction triggered by the shaking from the earthquake were a likely root cause of the large-scale environmental changes. So, yeah. Let's see. And then in 856, Damgan earthquake, and that's in, hold on. In Iran. So it was December 22nd, 856, approximately, and it was about a 7.9, and it extended about 220 miles along the southern edge of eastern Alborz Mountains of present-day Iran. So the earthquake's epicenter is estimated to be close to the city of Damgan, which was then the capital of the Persian province of Kumis. And there was about 200,000 deaths. So, and they said, like usual, back then, the death toll is debatable. It's hard to keep records of how many people died. And there's several fault strands that's along there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 fault lines on that area. And it's not a very big area. But like I said, I'm going to post this. And everyone can look at it. And whatever we don't get to cover, we could carry on later. So, okay, that's just the top earthquakes. I'm just going to kind of go to. So, the next one I figured we cover is the deadliest famines. Maybe. Okay. So, the Great Chinese Famine. Wow, China suffered a lot. I'm telling you. So from 1958 to 1961, good God, they look like the Chinese back then, they actually looked like Holocaust victims. That's how skinny they were. And hold on a second. So I'm just trying to. It was. I'm trying to figure out what in the hell, because I don't have to go over the same stuff over and over again. The biggest part of the death toll was because of starvation, and tens of millions of Chinese died from it. And the major contributing factors in the famine were the politics of the Great Leap Forward and people's communes, in addition to some natural disaster as droughts took place. So you have bad weather, you have droughts, flooding, or whatever, and it's going to kill your food supply. Let's see. So a lot of the chairmen and I don't know how they do their politicians. They caused about 30% of the famine. Oh, no, my bad. 30% was by natural disasters. 70% was man-made errors. So you think about this from back then to what they're trying to do now.
Right.
Yeah, and that's just 30% of natural disasters. 70% was caused by their government. That's what's scary.
Yeah, that's not hard.
Huh?
That's hard.
Well, this was back in 1962. So I don't know when they started that, but in 1981, whatever they called the Great Leap Forward, as the anti-rightist campaign, that was in 1981, and that was all man-made, all of it, pretty much. But yeah, it talks about they got a list of, I guess you call them emperors or whatever the Chinese call it. It has all of their history and who screwed up. And see, I wonder if theirs was due to overpopulation as well. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's why all of they all died. So China had another one in 1907. This was triggered by heavy rains, and it just killed 10% of the population died. and about 25 million people is 10% of their population, and it says the Argus, a contemporary Australian newspaper, likewise reported in 1907 that tens of millions of Chinese were suffering, and that half of them were doomed to death unless something was done. And their government, I'm telling you, the Chinese government has done a lot of damage to their own people, you know. And it's the U.S. donated tons of food, mostly by private donations back in the day. Let's see. Jesus. China had the three top worst famines worldwide. This one was from 1876 to 1879, and that happened during the late Qing Dynasty in China. It began in northern China, and this was by crop failures, unfortunately. And about 108 million people were affected in 5 provinces. They've known nothing but grief. Dang. So the British missionary, Timothy Richard. I know it's like sidetrack. Irish wrist watch. Say that fast. Okay. Sorry to get sidetracked. That just reminded me of that when Irish wristwatch. Forget it. I'm not even going to bother. So he begged Shanghai to help with money to help the victims. And so in 1877, the Shandong Famine Relief Committee was established, and from Protestant and Catholic ministries to help out. And to think of, listen to this. You think of this. They took help from the Protestant and Catholic churches, right? Back then. And now today, God forbid, if you're a Christian, Catholic, or whatever, in China, they kill you.
Yep.
It's amazing how times have changed. I mean, it's sad. So some of the people, and this is how bad it was, they had to sell their wives and daughters and their houses just to eat. That's pretty bad. But so about 5.5 million people died out of a population of 15 million. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And so the rain is what kills their crops. You know, now rice paddies? Those require a lot of water, but I'm trying to think of where all the rice is. In China, I know it's in Vietnam. I know all the Asian countries pretty much grow it. So the number 4 famine, Chalisa famine in India, and their famine was caused by unusual El Nino events. And it began in 1780, and it caused a lot of drought. But isn't India dry anyway? I mean,
yeah, it's actually humid too.
Yeah, and so apparently the northern parts of India, especially like where Delhi is, and Uttar Pradesh, and Punjab, and yeah, sure, Kashmir. I'm skipping over the names I can't pronounce.
Come on,
you
hack
guys,
'em.
don't mind me. Huh?
Come on and hack them.
No, I am not gonna. I'm not gonna. I'll hack some of them, but up to 11 million people were thought to have died in the 2 famines they had. That it's just sad. I mean, I get why a lot of people want to leave their country and come to America because of, a greater opportunity. But here's the thing. We need to send scientists and agriculturalists, all of them, to these other countries. Teach them how to build wells or dig for wells to help their own people there. Because we can't take everybody and their brother, or we're going to end up like third world countries. And I think that's going to be the only way to help these countries. I mean, you can't really help a drought. I mean, that's, there's nothing you can do about that. So the Chalisa was preceded by a famine in the next year in South India, including Madras City, and that was the British East India Company rule, and so that's part of the other famine. Let's see. Oh, my little thing keeps moving. Okay, so I went over that one. That was the second one. Oh, it was pretty much during the same timeline. So the next one is in. Well, is there? Never mind. This one, it says the Great Bengal Famine of 1770, but it says British India. So it's got to be before when because Britain still, it doesn't technically own India, but they still help. Where's it at? I like what they say. There was either 2 million or 10 million deaths, one or the other. There's apparently no difference in the middle. So policy failure and drought caused this famine, and attempts to stop exportation and hoarding, they were hoarding the grain. So, something that I learned about India in a documentary, because I love watching documentaries. India could be not a superpower, but they could be well off if they could export their goods. They just don't have the cargo ships to export everything. And that's why they're a poor country. And they get piss poor health care too. But that's for another show. The only reason why I know all that is because one, a documentary, and it was a part of my last the degree I earned, and it was in healthcare management, and we had to do everything about India and watch these documentaries, and it was just talking about how poor the country is, and people could be better off if they could sell what they have. So there was a massive drought and 2 consecutive failed rice crops. I didn't know India grew rice. I didn't know that.
Huh. I didn't either.
Yeah. So the revenues of East India Company dropped to 174,000 pounds due to the famine, which would be about, in U.S. dollars, that'd probably be around 200,000, maybe more. Because I know right now, if you get take 1,000 U.S. dollars, you get 700 pounds, and that sucks. I didn't think the exchange would have been that bad. Yeah. So yeah, that was British India. So that was when England still owned India. So the seventh one is the Great European Famine, and that was from 1315 to 1317. And that was the first of a series of large-scale crises that struck Europe early in the 14th century, extending east to Russia and south to Italy was affected. So this was a massive famine. So the famine caused many deaths over an extended number of years and marked a clear end to the period of growth and prosperity. So that pretty much killed it. Their growth and prosperity they had bad weather in spring and crop failures that lasted 2 years until 1317. And damn, they did not fully recover until 1322. So, but that wasn't the only problem that they had. They had cattle disease. Their sheep and cows dropped 80%. Damn. So, which caused extreme levels of crime, disease, mass death, cannibalism, and infanticide. And then it had consequences for the church as well. So that's pretty bad. If you're getting, I'm sorry, but if we get to the point where we don't have much food, I am not eating anybody. I'm sorry, that shit just don't. I am not gonna do it. I'll
eat bugs first.
Yeah. I'll do it the Chinese way. I'll fry them because they eat crickets. They eat all kinds of crazy shit.
Shit, they eat dung beetles. I mean, come on. I'd rather eat dung beetles than people because you have no idea.
Exactly.
People that were eating and stuff. I think the dung beetles in the ox shit is probably healthier than eating a person.
I'm gonna tell you something. It's not like boiling water where you could boil bacteria out. I'm telling you, I don't think that diseases that the human body carries is quite the same as boiling out. Make sure your meat's to 450,000 degrees because that's about the only way I'll do it. Or if you don't tell me, I'd rather eat cow stomach. I'd rather eat a cow stomach.
I saw a video today of this woman doing an experiment with Pepsi. Now, I've done a similar experiment, only I did it in the sun during the summer. Is she put a piece of pork on a plate and she poured Pepsi over it, and you can see all the parasites coming out of the pork. I was shocked.
Yeah,
I didn't know. I mean, I've seen it in the sun decades ago, and you would be surprised at how many people were saying, "Oh, that's fake. That's not real." And I'm like, "Oh no, yes, that is real." I said, "I don't know about Pepsi." I said, "But I do know that there are parasites in pork, and that you can literally watch them crawl out. That's why pork needs to be cooked, completely." And then people are like, "Oh, well, that's all the crap they put in it." And I'm like, "No." I said, "I got my pork straight from the farm." I said, and you're talking 30, 40 years ago. They didn't have all the chemicals and shit that they have today. And it did it then.
Oh, no.
So, yeah. So it's real. There are parasites in pork. Here's one thing I did not know, though. You should never feed pork, even cooked pork, to a dog.
Hello there, Michael Youssef here.
Well, why?
Well, they said because of the parasites, I guess. Or, I mean, it may not be all dogs, but they're saying because of the parasites in the pork, it can affect the dog. It gives them something. I forget what they said. Like I said, I never heard that before, so that was new to me. But I already knew about the parasites because I personally did the experiment, 40 years ago. So, you know, and if they were there 40 years ago, I'm not surprised they're there today. It never occurred to me that Pepsi would do it. I thought it was just, you know. But again, not surprised. I saw a really weird video of this guy in, I don't know if it's Burma or wherever, where they take Coke and this sugar soda and they pour it into a hole in the mud and catch fish because the fish can't breathe because of the oxygen. I think one of you guys might have shared that one. But, you know, it's just really, you know, interesting, the things that are out there. And that can affect your health, too. You know, people are not good to eat, but if you are going to eat them, the buttocks is the safest. Or the thigh.
Well, this I remember this because I learned about this when I was over there. In Ireland, they had the Great Potato Famine. Let me tell you something.
I heard of that.
Them sons of bitches, they eat potatoes for like just not one type of potato. Don't, you know, when you go to restaurants, you will get mashed potatoes, boiled potatoes, baked potatoes, and French fries with every freaking meal.
Wow.
And a vegetable and a half a chicken. Okay, I'm telling you, they love their potatoes. But in 1845, the Irish potato famine was also known as the Great Hunger, and a fungus had killed over half of the potato crop that year and over the next 7 years. And so this was when England still owned Ireland. Actually, they still do. Northern Ireland just got their walking papers from England, but the Parliament didn't do shit to help. But politics and the famine, I mean the potato crop, kind of pretty much what killed a bunch of them. But it had something to do with their let's see. Well, the land, about being able to lease the land and all of that, and they couldn't afford it, and it was just, you know, pretty crappy. But yeah, I remember that because I was there. But it's not one of the top famines because Ireland has maybe 5 million people.
Right.
A famine to them, I mean, if they got one of these other famines, they'd be wiped out. Completely. The whole island would be wiped out. Now, I don't know how many's in Northern Ireland. I mean, that's probably another million or 2 million, maybe. I don't know. Or at least this was 4 years ago. So, I mean, it could be a little different. So, anywho, this is the deadliest impact event. So, we're going to find out what this is. So, about 10,000 people died unofficially. This is in 1490. And, come on, cooperation. King Yang is where it happened. And what was it? Okay. Well, I like what it calls. So it's the King Yang is the easternmost prefecture level division of Gansu, and thus sometimes referred to as Longdong. Wow. So that's where it's at. Yeah. But I'm trying to find out what the hell what the impact was. It's not even saying. Oh, it was temperatures. Okay, why didn't they just say that? Good Lord. Apparently the humidity killed people. So, yeah. It was the weather, but that's all they say. You know what? I hate that. It's just, wow, really? Oh, they had a meteor shower. For the love of God. And that killed people. An asteroid. Wow. At least 3 surviving Chinese historical records describe a shower which stones fell like rain, killing more than 10,000 people. So the next time somebody says a damn asteroid is going to break up into pieces, yeah, I'm going to remember this event that killed 10,000 people. And that's what it was. It was a meteor shower. That's freaking ridiculous. So, but this is back in the day when 1490. Okay, they didn't have satellites and what you call them? Shit, I can't even think what it's called right now. I can picture it. You know how you look up into the stars? Help me out here, guys.
What, you mean a meteor shower?
No. The thing that for some reason, I could see the picture of this. It's like, oh my God, I can't even think of what it's called. People look up and, huh? No, not what killed them. No, listen. How you have them, for crying out loud. It's like a kaleidoscope, but you know what I'm talking about.
The telescope?
A telescope. That's what it's called. I don't know why my brain had a brain fart, okay? A telescope. They didn't have them back then. Jesus, I'm having a brain fart.
Well,
I'm having a brain seizure.
First I had to decide whether or not you were talking about something that was natural or man-made.
Oh, no. The meteor shower is what killed them, but they didn't have telescopes. They didn't have satellites back in 1490 to say, hey, prepare for a meteor shower. So, yeah. Sorry. I told you. I'm just, it's one of those things. Hold on a second. So, their measurements, they're not the same as ours. So, the stones are 4 to 5 catties, catties, or about 1.5 kilograms. So, really? They were the size of goose eggs, too as small as a chestnut, and that killed people. Wow. Must have got them in the head. That's wow. Yeah, next meteor shower, I'm skipping it. So, Changsha district in China. Gotta love China. They're being punished because of freaking communists. That's what's wrong with them. Let's see what killed them. Well, who cares? It has all their districts, but I'm trying to find out what it was that killed them. Well, I'll be damned. It does not say. But 10 houses were destroyed. I have no idea. So, sorry. But something happened in China on that day. They destroyed 10 houses. So, in China, yet again, in 616 CE, wait a minute. I thought they had AC and BC. They got a CE. So, a large meteorite fell onto the rebel Lu Ming Yao's camp. It destroyed a tower.
And when is this again? What dynasty?
Oh, this is China.
No, I said what
Rebel
dynasty?
Lu
When?
Ming Yao's camp.
So you said during the 1400s?
16 CE.
Oh, 616. Okay.
Yeah. But here's the thing. I'm trying to find out. Yeah, well, that doesn't help me at all. Yeah, that I don't know what that is because we have BC and AC, before Christ, after Christ. So what's CE?
Yeah, but the Chinese don't use the same calendar we do. They use dynasty.
True, and that's why it's CE. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So, well, I'm skipping the one in the Indian Ocean because all I said was 2 sailors were killed on a ship, and they don't say anything about it. So we get to skip them. Oh, my God. Podka, Menaya, and Tunguska. Jesus, don't even ask. It's in Russia. Okay. So let's find out what it was. So something happened. Good Lord. This is why I hate Wikipedia. Because it said there was an impact. What kind of freaking impact, for crying out loud? Has something to do with their tributaries, and so they might have, I don't know. It doesn't even say.
Right.
What the hell? Who cares? All right, we go to the next one. There's only a couple on this. Let's see. Wow. So, Lombardy, Italy.
Uh-huh.
This was in, I'm trying to read it because it's in their language. So apparently a monk and several animals were killed by stones.
By what?
Stones. Around 400 BC. Let's see. Yeah. That's why they made a patron saint day. So they got killed by stones. The city's prosperity continued to increase until 669 AD, when it was sacked and destroyed in the Second Battle of Bedriacum by the troops of Vespasian. Lord help me. Yeah, they stoned a priest and some animals. Good Lord. Okay, they were a monk and several. They were killed by stones weighing up to 50 kilograms. That I guess that's kind of heavy.
Yes.
So in Milan in 1633 or 1664, a monk died after being hit by a meteorite. I'm telling you, these freaking meteorites, when they say, oh, don't worry about them. Because in Gascony, France in 1790, a farmer was struck and killed by a meteorite. Nope, I'm just... China, another meteorite in 1874. Newtown, India, United States.
Is it just one meteor, or so it's not a shower? It's just a large meteorite, just a single one.
Yep, just a single one. But the other one was a meteor shower. Right.
Because there is a difference. I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah. In China, I had another one in 1874. It crushed a cottage and killed a child. And in Indiana, in the United States, in 1879, supposedly a man was killed by a meteorite, but
Hey,
they
Kim.
later revealed it to be a hoax. So why put it in here?
Hey, Kim. Hey, shithead.
Yeah. What?
A 12-inch meteorite can take out an entire block.
Well, listen here. When they tell us that a meteor is coming to Earth the size of a Volkswagen, and they say, don't worry about it, it's going to just break up in the atmosphere. Well, you know what? We have proof they're wrong. Because a meteorite, after it breaks up, can kill you. In France,
Yes, it can.
a farmer was killed by. This was all in the 1800s. So apparently, it just doesn't like over there. And in Yugoslavia, oh Jesus, in 1929, a meteorite killed an entire bridal party.
Wow.
I know. Okay. I can't help but laugh about some of this shit. I'm gonna skip the eruption, the limnic eruptions. I'm gonna go to wildfires. These are the wildfires and brush fires. So this one was in Wisconsin. Is Lorna on?
No,
Wisconsin.
she's not.
Nope.
Oh, we'll figure. Well, Testigo Fire.
Hey, you're
in
lucky
Wisconsin.
I'm even on.
No kidding. In 1871, a brush fire killed about 2,500 people.
Hey, look, I'm sitting around a fire in my backyard and drinking Captain Morgan.
Coolio.
Whatever.
I know, huh?
I don't do
So
White Claw.
apparently it burned down 1.2 million acres of land.
Have you seen what's going on in Italy right now?
In Italy? No.
No, the volcano?
Volcano is erupting.
Oh, is it Vesuvius?
And the earthquakes in New Zealand?
Oh, yeah, the ones in New Zealand? Yeah, those are pretty bad.
Thousands of them
And then
per day.
in New Guinea?
Wait, hold on. You said in Italy?
Yes. Volcano is erupting in Italy.
Okay, hold on. Well, there's two of them. Mount Vesuvius
Not
and
Mount
then the other
Vesuvius.
one.
It's not Mount Vesuvius. It's not
Okay, then
Mount
it's the other
Vesuvius.
one. Okay. Hold on. And when was it?
Today, from what I read.
Today?
Yeah.
Oh, Mount
Yeah,
Etna.
they've been going on all the last week. There's been one
Mount,
almost every other day.
Yeah, it's Mount Etna.
Yes, Mount Etna.
Yeah, that's. I wonder if that's the one. It was the 10th. Okay, not the 10th. Blast. I'm trying to find out. It says the column of ash and lava reached a height of 33,000 feet on Sunday. Wow. So it's Mount Vesuvius is the bad one, and this one is not as big.
Mount Vesuvius is the one that took out Pompeii.
Yes. Yeah. And they said if Mount Vesuvius goes off again, that's it for that whole area.
It's a super volcano, right? It's no different than Yellowstone.
You know, Yellowstone's having earthquakes.
Last week we were talking about Yellowstone.
Well, I'll tell
Yeah.
you right now, if Yellowstone ever explodes, say goodbye. I mean, it's going to affect the entire world.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Would well, that's only if only if it erupts as a super volcano, as the whole caldera goes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but if it erupts, that's
right.
pretty much how it's going to erupt.
Okay. See. Okay. What would it? Here it is. I went ahead and looked it up. If Yellowstone erupts, I'm trying to find out. Oh, I accept your damn cookies, for crying out loud.
Does it come with milk?
They're having what you call them, before the volcano goes. I'm trying to think of what the hell it's called. I'm having a brain fart. Sorry, guys.
Are you talking about house flats and all that?
No.
Have you ever asked, who has actually
What?
ever been to Yellowstone?
I've been close.
No,
I've been there.
never been.
I've seen all the geysers, the mud pits, all that shit. And once the animals vacate Yellowstone, it's going to erupt. I'll tell you that right now.
It's pneumonic tremors.
Animals are definitely warning signs.
Oh, come on. My damn thing just crapped the bed.
Well,
it's pneumonic tremors.
if you think about it, look at what happened to Mount St. Helens. Now, I was there 5 years after the eruption that happened back in the 80s. And, man, you go through so much beautiful mountains and lush trees. And then all of a sudden, when you get close within, I don't know what it was, 20 miles of Mount St. Helens, it was like walking on the freaking moon.
Yeah.
I mean, there was nothing. It was unbelievable. And Mount St. Helens, that was a bad eruption that happened.
Everywhere. It really turned the state.
Oh, yeah.
And I
remember that. That was bad. That was very bad.
When I was out there 5 years ago, Mount St. Helens was still smoldering. Ash was, I mean, feet of ash was everywhere.
Okay, this is the stats on that explosion. Okay, it's unreal how much. It was more than one explosion.
What, on Mount St. Helens?
Yeah, it was more than one.
I know. I've got
was,
booked on Mount St. Helens actually from that era when it erupted. Where the old man was in the lodge.
Yeah.
On what was that? Spirit Lake. I mean, it was. Have you seen that movie about it?
Yeah. Oh no! I'm thinking of Yellowstone one. No. But it was a VEI 5. A VEI 8 is a super eruption. So 5, that was pretty big. And 2 months before the eruption, it was steam venting. They were having steam venting episodes.
Right.
And
I knew that.
There was an injection of magma at a shallow depth below the volcano.
Back then,
and that's what caused the bulge.
Back then, I was very into, like, volcanoes. I remember watching it on TV and all that shit. And a lot of the footage of the scientists that were on or close by the mountain when that thing erupted was, oh my God, it was amazing. It was wild. It was just the destruction.
The pyroclastic clouds was 80,000 feet in the air.
Oh, I remember getting ash here in Illinois from it.
Yeah, 11 United States, and 2 Canadian provinces got ash. At the same time, they got snow and ice.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Wow. Oh, and then the glaciers, they got covered with the ash, melted. So then it caused a mudslide. Damn.
I'm going to tell you right now, to see that much forest, all the trees were laid down in one direction.
Doubt.
The ash, the rivers. I'm talking 5 years after the eruption.
Only 57 people died.
Yeah, I know, because they cleared out all the towns and everything.
But it cost $3.4 billion.
Yeah, I know, worth of damage.
Well, actually, it was $1 billion in damage, but to today's cost, it would be $3.4 billion. Damn.
Well, back in the 80s,
yeah, that's when they took out the whole
was a lot
side,
cheaper.
Right?
Huh?
Yeah. And you know how small the earthquake was? 4.2.
It's not that things were cheaper. It's that your dollar was worth more.
Oh, yeah.
No, I know. But the earthquake was small that caused that eruption. It was only a 4.2. And 174 aftershocks of 2.6 or greater was after the eruption for a couple of days, or in those 2 days, had 174 aftershocks. Damn. But yeah, that's the one that blew off the whole side of Mount St. Helens.
Okay. After seeing the effects on what that, it's like 2 atomic bombs going off. It's like the Hiroshima bomb leveling Tokyo during World War I.
Yeah. Can't see. Oh yeah. Well, now I can't see. My glasses are dirty. Now I can't see shit. All right. So, back to fires. In the Soviet Union, they had one called the Kersha 2, and it was named after a road sign. But this was in 1936, and it killed about 1,200 people, and it was a firestorm. Wow. I'm trying to see how big it was in size. Oh, of course. They didn't say how big it was.
I think most Americans, and I don't mean 51%.
But that was it.
They get it. And they understand.
Well, hell.
When you've got stories about race, not letting people on their buses without COVID negative tests out of these facilities.
Ah, shit.
Hello?
Hello?
Tim?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I lost you there for a minute. Got quiet.
No, you did. I got kicked off.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
What'd you say?
So, I got kicked off.
Oh boy.
So
I
in
got kicked off.
1918, In 1918, Cloquet Fire in Minnesota. It was an immense fire in northern Minnesota, and it was caused by sparks from the railroad and dry conditions, and it affected Moose Lake, Cloquet, and Kettle River. And Cloquet was hit the hardest by the fire, but it was the worst natural disaster in Minnesota. And it killed 453 people in one city, and 52,000 people were injured and displaced. And it destroyed about 250,000 acres. That's bad, and that's why, I mean, that's just by sparks from your railroad, from the track and the wheels on the train. And think about when it's either windy or really dry and you have a fire and you don't take care of it. That's why if you ever have a bonfire that's not in a proper fire pit, you can actually lose control of it. So the fire, it killed the logging industry. And that's
it
most
definitely
of it was.
killed the logging industry, because they used to float them down that where the mudslides came down.
Yeah, it was the Kettle River.
Right.
Yeah.
It leveled every freaking thing. Everything.
Wow. There was 50 or more small fires and then turned into one giant massive fire. Wow. And it lasted how many days? What does it say? No, actually, it was like 7 days. Started on the 4th. It's an 8-day fire. Took them 8 days to fight that fire. Wow. That's pretty bad.
It was, I'm telling you, man, 5 years after I went there after the eruption, it was a scene like you've never seen before. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Oh, yeah. I can imagine. It's like the one we had in Tennessee. That I mean, look, because I was. It went from the Dolly Parton, the over there.
Oh, the
her
fires in
Dollywood, Pigeon
really?
Forge.
Yeah.
Pigeon Forge. Yes.
Yeah. It went all the way to Harriman. And here, I'm going to tell you, this is what, and they found out who did this. And the little shits, they deserve to get it. It killed 3 people, but it damaged 400 structures or destroyed them. And it was, the evacuation was for Gatlinburg, parts of Pigeon Forge, and
right.
It burnt down a 16-story hotel, and then it was so bad that it ended up going, like I said, to Harriman, and the smoke, it was just horrendous, and it was caused by teenagers. It took more than 200 firefighters to stop it. And I'm trying to find out, where was it? They started a fire. It was just irresponsibility. They actually started it to start it, to see how much damage they could do. But I'm trying to. They said it was the worst fire they've had in 100 years.
Well, yeah.
So,
I mean, the thousands and thousands of acreage that a wilderness that was lost, and towns and people's homes burned, businesses.
Over 10,000 animals were affected by that fire because they were forced out of the area. Wow.
Right.
But it's just amazing how stupid that people can be because of being irresponsible for it. You know. And see, part of the problem, it started with 500 acres, and there was 30 to 40 mile an hour wind gusts. So, and then the highest the wind gust got was 63 miles an hour. So
right.
It was pretty bad. I'm just going to find some of the the current one. There was one in Greece in 2018. Let's see. It began in July of 2018. Wow. Took a year because the fires kept popping up. Wow. It killed 173 people. And this was in Rafina. But it took quite a while for them to stop it. Oh, no. This is
well,
human negligence.
Right. It took, I can't remember how many fire departments and how many firefighters it actually took. I just wish that our group had more money to buy water and non-perishable food for the firefighters to help them out.
Oh, I know. That would be really good. And that's why we need people to donate or to buy stuff from the store and things.
Right.
So we can do more to help. I'm trying to think. Let's go down. Oh, is this the one? Okay, so in California in 2018, a campfire. This is why we stress this. First of all, California is like a desert. It never rains. And, I remember this one. This is the one where most of the houses burnt down, but not many trees. Bobby, this is what we were talking about when we were talking about Agenda 21 with California, with the railway.
Right.
That's what this was. And miraculously, it only affected most of the houses. But it affected 163 square miles in California. But let's see if it's more than 18 million residents were affected. And was it 9.6 million lost their home? Kind of ironic how it was just their houses, though. But damn. Oh, that's what they made. Never mind. Because their gross state product was $3.2 trillion. But it really affected. It affected. It doesn't say how many areas that it affected. But that was pretty bad, and that was a campfire, supposedly. And did anybody hear about? I will say this: the campfire, not campfire, the gender reveal fire.
Yeah, and it got out of hand and all that bullshit.
Oh, here it is. I will find.
Now, if you look even harder, they caught Antifa trying to set fires too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's let's see. I know they were going to charge the family with certain things. Yeah, it was what they used to do the gender reveal. And let's see, there was an explosion, and the device was not built or made for malicious purposes. It was made for the gender reveal itself. And let's see. But yeah, I heard that that it was Antifa was paid, and I think one of them got hurt.
I think there was one that got hurt. I'm not sure. I mean, I've read so much different bullshit. You never know.
No, I know.
More.
Well, this says one of the people was named Chris. He was working on the device for the reveal. He suffered a lethal head injury. His younger brother suffered a serious leg injury. And, yeah, it killed him. I'm trying to figure out. Because, yeah, they did say that, holy shit. Earlier in that month, shrapnel from a small party cannon, what the freaking hell, a party cannon, fired during a baby shower, struck and killed a 26-year-old man in Michigan. I'm telling you, just keep it simple with gender reveal parties.
Right.
Oh, no, the one in California, that gender reveal in California, burned for 23 days across 22,000 acres, and the firefighter died. Now, on that particular one, they're not being charged for the firefighter's death because it was not where the fire originated, and that's where other fires were started afterwards.
Right.
A gender reveal, and I know how we got sidetracked from that, but this is a great impact on America. A gender reveal in Florida, they used tannerite.
How much tannerite did they use?
Well, it sparked a 10-acre brush fire that caused $8 million in damage.
Holy shit. They must have used a lot of tannerite. Sorry, I'm dumping out my ice from my drink.
There was another one in 2018 in Arizona, and that burnt down 45,000 acres. So all I have to say is for all you idiots out there doing gender reveals, don't use explosives. I mean, come on, guys. Yeah,
and don't use a lot of tannerite. You don't need that much. It doesn't take that much.
No shit. How about let's not explode anything? I mean, they have the balloons. They have the pink and blue. They have the my daughter and her boyfriend did the baseball, and you throw it and he hits it, and I mean, why not do simple things? But no, we got to be big and bad and blow shit up. Leave that to professionals.
Why not just accept the gender that was revealed when the baby came out of the mother's womb?
Because a lot of times when you have the baby shower, you don't know what color to get. And look, yellow, and green just don't cut it.
Yeah, I understand that. That's what I said. Have a gender reveal party when the baby comes out of the mother's womb, and then you buy whatever it is that you want or they want. I mean, why
Well,
do you
keep it
have
simple.
to go into the woods and have and shoot off fireworks? I mean, you know, this is something that women do every day and have been doing for millennia. I mean, it's an exciting thing.
It's called Generation Z.
Yeah, Generation. Well, never mind. I'm not going to say anything. But
The biggest disappointment, the biggest embarrassment of all time is this generation. You damn right they are. They eat freaking Tide Pods and snort condoms and eat ramen noodles out of the toilet.
It's the people in their 30s and 20s. The teenagers, some of them actually aren't too bad. You know, because they're swinging back the other way to conservative. But I watched some of them, like Turning Point. I don't know if you're familiar with Turning Point, which is young Republicans or young conservatives or whatever. And it's amazing how many young people actually are swinging back towards the conservative side, who are in seniors in high school or just starting college. So I don't know if it's because they're fighting back against their parents who are crazy, or what. But
we figured out what's happened to Gen Z. See,
what?
My children are millennials. Okay. It's kind of odd because most millennials have boomers as parents. But I'm a Gen X, and I had kids early. Okay. Well, I was 25 when I had my last. Okay. See, here's the problem. I had a boomer mother and a silent generation father. And so,
Hey, Kim.
And so,
Before we get into this conversation, I'm getting off here to go to bed because I got a fishing trip tomorrow.
Oh, wow. No work?
No, I'm off work. This is my weekend.
Yeah.
I'm going
Whatever.
fishing. Hey, pictures to follow tomorrow. Believe me.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Have a good night, all.
Well, have fun.
Oh, I definitely will. It's going to be peaceful, relaxing, and I can already taste the fillets of crappie already. Crappie, largemouth bass, and maybe a few catfish. I don't know.
So don't have fun.
Look, don't start. Don't start.
I will to the last minute. So,
I know you will, shithead.
I might send you a text at 3 o'clock in the morning. Hey, you awake yet?
Look here, woman, don't even go there. Who knows? I'll probably be awake anyway.
That's my typical. I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning because my dog jumps on the bed and she freaking starts scratching my blanket. Hey, get up, get up, get up, get up. And she won't stop. So, she stopped the licking thing. So,
hey, still lucky. Most of the time, it's my PTSD that gets me up.
Well, that's why I don't go to sleep until late, and then I end up having to take a nap in the morning because my life sucks. And
right.
I'm stuck at home.
I know. All right, y'all. Have a good night.
Oh,
Pictures
shut
to
up.
come tomorrow.
All right.
Of all the fish.
So, Maria, here's the way this shit works. The boomers, I'm not saying all boomers are like this, tree-hugging hippies, right? So it started with the tree-hugging hippies. Peace-loving chicken
trees.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. They had children, which was your millennials. For your first part of your millennials, except my mom was a boomer, but she had me at 17.
How old are you?
That's why there's such an age difference. So
Wait a minute, how old are you?
49.
Oh, you're younger than me.
Yes, see, I had my first at 17. That's the reason for the age difference. My oldest cousin is 55, and my daughter is older than his first son.
Okay.
So, yeah. So anyway, the boomers that had them, late in life kids is how they ended up with the first part of the millennials. And the whole generation of, honey, you could be whatever you want to be. And they could be dumb as a box of rocks. So go look up what a Gen X is, and you'll see. We're the forgotten generation. And this is what they say about Gen X. One, we don't care. We have no feelings. And most Gen Xers end up in prison or the military or mental disorders. Well, guess what? I got 2 out of the 3. Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And we were the original latchkey kids. And most Gen X's that have children were like, suck it up. I told my son when his team lost, they get a participation trophy. I'm like, you go hand that back to your coach. And he did. And I said, look, you're not taking that trophy because your team sucks. Better luck next year. And that's what happened. When you have parents that tell you you could be whatever you want to be, knowing damn good and well your kid's stupid, no, they can't. So you better tell them, look, you're going to have to study more because, and go from there. That's how we got the participation generation. And,
I hate those. I hate those participation things.
Yeah, and a lot of Gen Z has no clue because I get called the boomer all the time, and they're like, "Oh, boomer, why don't you just drop dead and get it over with? We're gonna rule the world one day." You know what? First of all, dumbass, I'm not a boomer. Okay, and it's the reason why I got put in Facebook jail. Okay, because I told a Gen X, look, dude, I don't care about your feelings.
Boomer? I didn't think I was a boomer. I'm 50. I'm going to be 57 Friday.
Okay, if you were born before 1969, you're a boomer.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Huh. The baby boomers. Yes. They originally called Gen X the sandwich generation because we were between when we had our children there, the first part of millennials. So we were sandwiched between taking care of our children and taking care of our parents. That's why they called us the sandwich generation. Now we're Gen X. You know why? Yeah. We don't get counted for anything.
Huh.
So it's okay. It's okay. It is the way it is. Well, I'm gonna leave it off, and we could do this again next week, and not get off track in the last 20 minutes. Because they got avalanches and landslides, blizzards, floods, heat waves, pandemics, epidemics, tornadoes, tropical cyclones, tsunamis, and volcanic eruptions, and that's just impactful events that hit the world. But tomorrow. For the medical show, I was thinking about doing musculoskeletal problems and possibly tying in nerves. Huh?
I said, that sounds interesting.
Oh, yeah. Well, we all have a plethora of back problems, neck, knees, shoulders. But I'll probably tie in nerve problems, like nerves and tendons and stuff like that, because they work together. And without nerves and tendons, your bones don't work. Because your muscles, nerves, and tendons make
joints.
Yeah, they make your joints move, and if they weren't attached, well, you'd just be a bag of bones. So, yeah. But I figured we do that tomorrow night.
Sounds good.
And then Thursday, the usual, whatever's going on. But the biggest story going on right now is Cuomo is in deep doo-doo.
Yeah, well, that man ain't going to resign. They're going to have to impeach his ass.
Well, they're up to 5 women that he's sexually assaulted, or whatever.
Yeah, well, he's saying that it ain't true, and he ain't resigning. He was duly elected, and I'm like, they need to not just impeach him, but they need, to get him out of office, they need to charge his ass and throw him in jail.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to find out
I'm waiting for the riots to start in Minneapolis, so. Or whatever that is where George Floyd is.
Oh, so here's one bit of good news, I guess. I don't know. By the end of the month, they're supposed to be sending out the $1,400 stimulus check, or as I like to call it, extortion.
Yeah, I've already got mine spent, so that I'm getting that solar thing. I found a really good deal on a battery that will go at least 24 hours, and the solar panels to charge it, and portable. So yeah, and I haven't decided what else I'm getting, but definitely that.
But you know what's pretty sad? Is only 5%. 5%. It was either 5 or 9 of this almost $2 trillion stimulus package is going to Americans.
Yeah. Right. Well, only 9% is going to actual American COVID relief. Or no. Yeah. Actually, 9% is going to COVID relief in general, including the world. I think only 5% is staying here in the States. But the same thing, too. What they applied to the schools are only getting a fraction of it this year, not enough to really do anything. Plus, they still got $1 trillion from the last one that they haven't spent. And they're giving the same people more money that have it sitting in that trillion that's sitting in the bank. So I'm going to try to figure out. I'll just take my money, spend it, and prep my ass so that when the shit hits the fan and we go to hell, I'm ready.
Well, the good thing is they took the $15 minimum wage out. Because that $15 minimum wage would kill America.
All right.
Every low-paying job
that was a gimme.
Gone.
That was a gimme. That was put in there on purpose so that they could take it out. The same thing with Pelosi's train, I think, was also taken out. They put in a couple of things that they could take out in order to placate the Republicans. That's all. It just that was bullshit. It wasn't going to go through anyway because the parliamentary committee already said it wouldn't qualify for a straight party vote. The same thing, too. They passed that H.R. 1 voting piece of shit.
Yeah.
Biden just signed it, so prisoners can now vote. And federal government is going to be able to say how everything is supposed to go for voting in all states. I'm thinking that's going against the Constitution, but what does this government administration care?
They don't care. Oh, and prisoners, felons get COVID relief checks. What do they need $1,400 for?
Yeah,
they're in prison.
I don't get. And what about the migrants that are coming wearing T-shirts that say "Biden let us in"? Where the hell they get those?
Soros.
Well, at any rate, it's almost 10 o'clock, so Bobby's going to throw us off soon. Bobby, you awake?
Yeah, I'm here.
I found some good stuff for Thursday too, Bobby. Some really important stuff. Yeah.
Good. Pass it on to me so that I can follow along and help out.
I'm going to try to stay awake.
I am awake. I've been on here.
He does.
Well,
All right.
Another-
As usual,
another
great show, very informative. That was really interesting about the meteorites in China.
No shit. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Kim. And thank you for calling in, Maria.
Yeah, anytime. I enjoy it.
And God bless America, our children, our veterans, first responders, our troops, and God bless the Defender 7.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.